Welcome to Switch Comics. My name is Marco, and it is Wednesday, yet again, new comic book day, and it's another light week for me. Now granted, it was a light week in general, not too many comics came out this week, but that makes now 2 weeks in a row where it's been pretty light. I think this is significantly lighter than even last week for me. Bad news, not as many cool comics to talk about. Good news, I saved a little bit of money past couple weeks, so that's kind of neat. Now before we get into it, let me quickly tell you about my giveaway.
I'm giving away 3 awesome comic bundles at 500 subscribers. That's right, 3 lucky subscribers will each win one of these 3 comic bundles. All you have to do to enter is simply be subscribed and leave a comment on this video. If you would like additional chances to win, you can watch other videos on my channel and leave comments on those as well. Each comment on a new video is another chance to win. Good luck.
So we are in the home stretch. Less than 15 people needed to hit 500 subscribers. Thank you all so much for the love and support. It means so much to me. Make sure you are commenting on all the old videos if you missed any, because every comment on a different video enters you again. And I'm going to be giving away those comics to 3 people. 3 of y'all, my lucky, lovely, loyal subscribers. Let's go ahead and talk about some comics now. So starting off, we're going to start with DC. Nice House on the Lake, number 5. One of my favorite books. I always tell everyone about this book. I love this book. Now, so far, technically, not a lot has happened. We know that, there's the end of the world outside, and then, the group that's been collected inside of this house is all safe from the effects of burning flesh and this, that, and everything else. So we've been kind of teetering on the edge of we need a little bit more. What's been holding this book together, though, is the fact that the writing's so good. All the characters are experiencing things in a different way, which is pretty cool. I really enjoyed about that series, because it's sometimes something bad's going on and everyone reacts in the same way, and it doesn't feel genuine. This feels like a real group of people, going through their own trauma, and it's nice to have really good writing is all I'm getting at. However, we've been teetering on this edge of, we're kind of in a dangerous area where something else needs to happen in the book, and we're about halfway through the series. It's a 12-part series. This is number 5, and so while reading this one, I was like, come on, we're kind of still staying stagnant here. But I will say something happens the very last couple pages or so that really feels like we're going to be catapulted forward in the next issue. So something pretty drastic happens, and it feels like I don't even, when you read it, I don't even think you will fully understand the grasp of it. And I'm not saying that I do either. I'm excited to see what will happen in the next issue. So again, always recommend Nice House on the Lake. And then we have another new book here. So this is Soul Plumber, number 1, and another DC horror. And this one was quite interesting. So it's a, I forget what he's called exactly. But you follow this man. He's very spiritual, believes that he's put on Earth by God to cleanse the world of demons in people. Basically, he thinks anybody that has something wrong with them, or they've chosen this path that's led them poorly. He's like, well, it's not them making those choices. It's a demon, causing them to not necessarily just sin, but make these terrible choices in their lives. And he ends up working at a gas station at first, where he meets, I don't want to give away too much, but he meets a fellow spiritual man there, and he goes to this sermon, I guess, where the man that he met at the gas station is ripping the demon, soul, I guess, whatever, out of this supposed infected man, I guess. He's performing an exorcism, basically. And it's, this big performance and everything. But he goes to ask, to become, they're called Soul Plumbers, is what they're called. And he goes asked to become a Soul Plumber. However, the man working at the gas station does not have any money, and it's I don't remember if it's stated, but it's pretty expensive. So it is obvious that this is like some kind of a scam. However, things take a turn in a way that I'm not, again, just a little preview. It didn't specifically say how it's going to turn. I think we're going to get a lot more information in the next one. But while this man he met at the gas station, was maybe, just conning people, this device that he creates, modeled after the scam, seems to have actually done something. Now, what that something exactly is, we have yet to find out. But it'll be very interesting to see. And I think this is I think it's a short one. I want to say maybe a 5 or 6 parts. Maybe a 6-part series. Don't hold me to that. I could be wrong. 5 or 6, one of those is right. But the 50-50 chance of, I'm probably pretty sure one of those is right, and I think it's number 6. But I'm very excited to see where that one goes. Again, as always, not a huge DC fan, but I'm going to check out the horror stuff. When I started reading, I picked up Nice House on the Lake because I love the cover of number 1. It's still one of my favorite covers, I think, maybe ever. But I fell in love with that story, and I was like, okay, let me check out this other DC horror stuff when they put it out. So, Soul Plumber, pretty cool. Excited to see where it goes. Got a couple of Marvel books here now. So we got Darkhold. I guess it's technically Alpha. Yeah, I was going to say number 1, but it's Alpha. I got the C cover, B cover, C cover. So the A cover is exactly the same, except for it has Doctor Doom instead of Scarlet Witch. But I want to get the Scarlet Witch one. Now, this could be a bit of speculating, maybe. Now, granted, I bought the book to read, and, it's... I try to think, if a book might go up in value. And if it doesn't, no big deal. Whatever. I read the book. I got my value out of the book. But with Doctor Strange and Multiverse of Madness and Wanda in the movies, maybe reading through the Darkhold and doing things, this cover might be more sought after later on, potentially. Maybe pick it up instead of your A cover, because, or if you're a diehard, some people are like, I have to have A covers on everything. Maybe get both, whatever, But anyway, talk about the book. It was pretty cool. It featured heavily Doctor Doom, which obviously he's on the A cover, so it makes sense. But he recovers. I'm not sure if it's ever been done before. I'm not super familiar with the Darkhold and all of its stories, but he recovers apparently the original Darkhold, which is made out of God's skin or something. I'm not entirely sure. It's not the same Darkhold that we're used to. This is a more original Darkhold or something, because apparently that Darkhold was copied or something. I don't know. Regardless, he finds that Darkhold and he wants to take out Chthon. I don't know if that's how you say it. Which way you say his name? How do you say his name? If you just text it to me, I probably won't be able to figure out how you say his name, or not text it, but comment it. But do your best, I guess. I say Chthon. I guess you could say I'm right or wrong. That might be easy. But yeah, it's a pretty good start. It sets up all the characters, because the rest of the series, it's not going to be numbered. That's why this one's Alpha. It's not going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, whatever. It is all one shots, even though they are in order. I think they should still be numbered, personally. And I don't remember. Does it say the order back here? I think it does. Yeah. So the next one is Iron Man, then Blade, Wasp, Black Bolt, Spider-Man, and then there will be a Darkhold Omega. So a finale for it. And I'm curious to see where this will go. I did have a lot of fun reading this. It was a little... I don't want to say it was bad. Maybe just not... Well, especially like after reading some books that I feel are like, I was talking about Nice House and how it's like so well written and the characters are so real and fleshed out, and the characters in this are very animated, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. But like Doom, for example, is very over the top, which Doom usually is. But even I felt like Scarlet Witch and everything was kind of over the top and just a little super dramatic, I guess. Which, I mean, you're dealing with Chthon, maybe destroying the world or whatever. Sure, I get it, but I don't know if it was just the juxtaposition of having these different titles being kind of read back to back that made me feel like this writing's a little as far as like dialogue writing anyway. But the story's fine. I enjoyed it, and like I said, I am curious where it goes. But maybe it was more than that. Maybe you felt like the writing was a little as well. So let me know. Again, not saying don't get it. I think it's a cool book, and if anything, definitely get this cover. Also important to note that, now granted, I know the comics are one thing and the movies are another thing, but this is very directly linking to Chthon. So is that kind of a hint that they want us, because sometimes they'll test things out and kind of prepare us with the comics a little bit, I feel. With, are they saying that Chthon is coming? Is that maybe what's happening in Multiverse of Darkness? I don't know. Maybe it is. Maybe it is. But we'll see, I guess. But, just a little bit of speculation I'm throwing in as well here. Now, the other Marvel book I got was Dark Ages #2. This is also the B cover. And super, super cool X-23 cover. I did not read this one because I did not read Dark Ages 1. There's just so many titles going on, and that's one I passed on. However, I was like, you know what, okay, if I'm going to get the #2, I might as well get the #1. But we were sold out of #1, so I didn't get to read that, so I didn't get to read this. However, regardless, very, very cool cover. I love me some X-23, and I thought it was just too good of a cover to pass up. I don't know who the artist is. I'll look it up later, but... then we have a couple of Star Wars books. So we have Ghost of Vader's Castle #3, and so in this little IDW book, we are building a team. Each book has been, getting a different member together for this. I guess not really. So the first book was kind of set up and creating a danger for someone, creating a rescue mission, and then 2 and 3 have been setting up a team. I don't know if they're going to be getting somebody else. I don't know how long this series is supposed to be. I don't think it's very long either. I'm sure it's, probably, again, 5 or 6 issues. Each character's been having these visions as you do in the Star Wars universe. But they're not very fun visions. They're not very fun dreams for anybody to be having. They're always horror related, and no one's having a good time. But that's bringing everybody together to build this this team that's being called out through by the Force in scary ways, because the Force is scary, I guess. But it's, again, because I've been reading, this book has been coming out weekly. It's a fun little ride, nothing too consequential. It's just a fun little mini series. And again, IDW stuff, it's kind of catered towards kids, but I think that it is good enough that, you don't have to be a kid to enjoy it. But, also cool that if you want to, get your kids, if you have kids, get them into reading, or if you have a younger, sibling or something. And even if not, I know plenty of grown adults that read IDW comics. Anyway, that being said, we also have another IDW Star Wars High Adventures, Star Wars High Republic Adventures. This is #9. And so, I don't know how to say his name. I'm going to guess it's Court. It's spelled Qort. But this character here, we're getting what it feels like a little bit more. We didn't go super deep into it. I mean, I guess we did. We started on his kind of backstory a little bit, but I feel like we're going to get deeper into it next issue. But I didn't know at first if this was his head or if that was a mask, because it looks very reminiscent to. Again, I'm probably going to be mispronouncing this guy's name, but Darth Krayt is how I say it. It's Krayt. He's a Sith from, the expanded universe. But he's like way in the future. He's fighting whatever it is, Luke's grandson or great-grandson or something like that, I think it is. So, Cade Skywalker. So anyway, but his face looks, or mask, whatever, it looks very similar. We do learn that it is a mask in this, and we learn where the mask comes from. And I don't know, is it just like paying homage, or it could be going into more details about where this comes from. I don't know if it's going to have any connection to Darth Krayt. Like I said, he is hundreds and hundreds and hundreds or probably maybe 1,000 years in the future or something. I don't know the numbers exactly. I could probably figure it out. It probably wouldn't be that difficult, but whatever. And potentially also not canon as well. But it could just, be paying tribute to the character. I don't know. If you know that character, and granted he also had like a full suit of armor of everything that also matched his mask. So, I don't know. Maybe it's just, like I said, just paying tribute. Regardless, fun comic. Going off on little tangents here. But I did enjoy this book. I'm very curious to see. I think I'm just really more so on the edge of, I want to know more about this mask, and we'll know if it will connect. But this story has been pretty good. I will say I haven't quite enjoyed it as much as, I don't know when they stopped numerically, but this series opened up with the tale of, what is her name? Zine, and then her friend that gets split up because one has the Force and has been hiding it, and the other one feels betrayed for not knowing. Whatever. And then, so I really enjoy their dynamic. I know they'll pop back up and be more prevalent later. We're getting to know some of the other characters, but I feel like that was where it was at its best, and I really miss that. So, it's funny because I feel like at the same time, this series was not on decline, like it's bad, but it was just like, it was like, oh, really, really good, and then it kind of stooped down a little bit. At the same time that happened is when the regular High Republic series started getting better, I think. So I don't think they have anything really to do with each other. It's just funny how that worked out. And then we got a couple of indie books to finish us off here. Starting with The Me You Love in the Dark, number 3. I absolutely love this book. I'm kind of sad that it's only 5 issues, because we're getting close to an end. It's gonna have a December finish, I guess. And man, I love this book. I got the poster on the wall here. Love this book so much. Again, my recommendation stays the same. It is a romantic, artistic adventure into the soul, and it deals with writer's block. It deals with self-worth. It deals with accepting yourself and giving yourself time to express yourself, and it does so on an emotional level. Like, the writing is very minimal. Like, the actual dialogue in this series is very minimal. It's a lot of just expressions and this relationship between the artist and this being that's in the dark, and in a way that being, in my interpretation anyway, is supposed to reflect your inner self, and how you can take care of yourself, and how you can come, or it could even, it doesn't have to be, it can, that's the cool thing though, because you can interpret it in different ways, because like at some points I feel like it's an interpretation of your inner self. Sometimes I feel like it is just kind of a generalized interpretation of a lover, or of someone that supports you. And this issue does get a bit more intimate with this other being, and the relationship is definitely a lot stronger than we've seen previously. I love this book so much. So much. Like, I actually would love to get the first issue probably signed by like Scotty Young or something. I think it would be super cool. I'm in love with this book. I don't know how else. Every time it comes out, I have just a great reception of it. And we're 3 issues in, 2 issues left. I'm really excited. I thought originally going into it, it would be more scary, more horror based. Because again, there's something dark and spooky and mysterious in the house. But and obviously there's 2 more issues left. Something in that nature could come. And you can weave it in to where it's still everything that I said, still matters, and still is a reflection of yourself and others, and this and that and whatever. Like, that can all still be, and then you can have this twist where it's a monster or something, or sometimes you're self-destructive, and there's lots of ways you can go with it where it's still like a monster, but it's still something beautiful at the same time. So there's a lot of ways that this book can go. I really don't know how it will end, but I'm loving the journey so much. So yeah, I recommend it strongly every single time, and I don't think I can recommend it any harder. The last book we got for today is Lucky Devil, number 3. I do believe this is a mini-series as well. I could be wrong. I'm pretty sure it is. But, again, Stanley, he gets possessed by a demon. He gets an exorcism. The demon gets exorcised, but the powers of the demon remain in him. And he's been bullied his whole life and not respected and this and that, whatever. So he's kind of taking revenge and putting his foot down and making himself into somebody that he wants to be with his newly found powers. However, the demons of hell are not too happy about that. So this is the issue where we finally get to see some of the demons come in to fight him back. And that was fun and bloody to see. But at the same time, I feel like we are just on the verge of getting to see what they're capable of. I feel like we just had a little taste of what they're capable of. And we will probably be seeing much stronger demons here in the future. So, excuse me. This has been a super cool book. Pretty fun. And yeah, I'm really curious to see how this will all turn out for Stanley. I could see, maybe he just ends up losing the powers. Maybe he ends up defeating the demons. He could end up dying. He could end up taking over hell. I could see so many different outcomes for this. And it's nice to, be reading a book and just not really know where we're going. And just think of all the different possibilities. So, I don't know. I like when a book's not so straightforward. And like for example... And again, not to pick on this book too much, because I feel like I'm kind of bullying at this point, but like with Darkhold, I'm pretty positive what's going to happen is in each issue, like the next issue's Iron Man, so Iron Man's going to be dealing with Chthon and his minions and on his own, and then, whoever Spider-Man's going to be dealing with Chthon and his minions on his own, and blah, 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 and then we're going to get to the end, they're all going to come together and they're going to beat Chthon. Pretty positive that is a general idea of where the story's going to go. And am I still along for the ride? Sure. But it's a little extra special when you don't know where we're going. So that's the books that I read this week. I would love to hear what you all are reading. Is there something I missed? Do you have an extra copy of Darkhold #1 that you can throw at me? Was it good though? Is it really worth reading? Because I did hear good things about it. And that's another reason why I wanted to pick that up. But anyway, hit me up in the comments while you're heading that way. Hit the like button on your way. Appreciate it so much. And that's going to be it for this week. Or not for this week. I'll be back. I'll be back Friday. I'll be back later on. We'll see.